So the other day I was watching the movie Juice, and it dawned on me. This isn't a hood movie, this is a slasher film in disguise. And Roland Bishop is Michael Myers with a 38 special. And he actually has a motive that makes sense when you decide to stop being a bitch. Everyone wants to talk about senseless violence, but there's nothing senseless about Bishop. He's the only one in the room with the clarity to see that him and his boys are being treated like pawns on the game board. And Bishop's tired of being a joke, and he chose to do something about it. And his whole crew are low-effort thinkers. They spend their days wandering around aimlessly, running from the cops, getting shaken down by Rodimus and his crew. The only person that has upside in the crew is Q. He's an aspiring DJ, which isn't really saying much. Being an aspiring DJ is like being the smartest person in a room full of retards. It really means fuck all. Everyone knows DJs don't make shit. They literally spin other people's records and act like they're the ones that actually made the music. Being a DJ is the most bum-ass broke dick job in history. And the whole crew is so fucking stupid that they're glazing Q the whole time like he's the savior that's gonna get them out the hood, while they completely ignore the fact that they have Tupac in their crew, the greatest rapper of all time. And the fact Tupac even got this role was freak luck. He was a roadie for Digital Underground who happened to be extras in the movie, and Tupac just happened to be in the room. He didn't have much going on, so the director's like, hey, you wanna audition? He's like, sure, and gives an Oscar-worthy performance right in the audition room. Blew everyone away, and thus a star is born. Because the role of Bishop was no act, this was Tupac for real. All the times he's been told he's a loser, he's a bum, he's nobody. He took that shit personal. He brought Bishop to life. No one else could have ever played this role like he did. The fact that he didn't get an Oscar or even nominated for an Oscar is the biggest crime in history. This is one of the greatest performances in the 90s, not even in a rap movie, in movies in general. This is on the level of Al Pacino. And let's just take a moment to recognize just how underrated of an actor Tupac was. This man commanded every scene he's ever been in. This dude brought a level of intensity, emotion, and raw talent to every role he ever played. I've never seen him in a bad role. I've seen him in terrible movies, but he's been stellar in every role he's ever played. It's a damn shame he died so young, because he would have gone on to make some of the biggest classics of our time. He was literally the James Dean of the 90s. And I'm from the Bay Area, born and raised. I'm a bit of a homer for Tupac. Listen, when I was a kid, he was a local rapper. Who would have known he would have gone on to be Tupac fucking Shakur? We claim him, he's one of our own. And don't give me that shit, oh, he was born in New York. He became a rapper in the Bay Area. He repped Oakland on his first 3 albums, so shut the fuck up. And when Tupac played Bishop, he had fuel in the tank. Everyone around Bishop calls him crazy, but they don't understand the mechanics of his rage. He's a man who wants power, but he's running away from the mirror. His entire violent arc is a desperate failed attempt to prove that he isn't the defective one in the crew. And this movie's a clinical study of a mental breakdown triggered by insecurity. And it all starts at home. Bishop doesn't have a dad he can look up to. His dad's a shell of a man, traumatized by prison, sitting in a chair staring into the distance. He's the physical manifestation of what happens when the system wins. When the neighborhood teases Bishop about his crazy dad, it's more than an insult. They're poking fun at his biggest fear that he tries to overcompensate for. Because Bishop looks at his dad and sees his own potential future. A broken, shell-shocked victim who's completely lost his mind. And he spends every second trying to be the exact opposite of that. And it's actually really fucking sad. And Tupac carries the pain and insecurity of Bishop in his performance. You see the pain in his eyes. He almost has a childlike innocence underneath his bravado, and you see a kid that was failed by the system. He never had a chance. His father was a victim, so Bishop becomes a predator. His father's silent, so Bishop becomes loud. He's fighting his own DNA while desperately trying to outrun a future of mental illness. That he literally becomes a serial killer trying to prove to everyone that he's not crazy. This is why the word crazy is a death sentence in this movie. When Rodimus calls Bishop crazy, it hits a nerve that goes deeper than pride. To Bishop, crazy means he's like his father. It means he's weak. It means he's a pawn whose brain doesn't work right. He takes offense to it because it's his ultimate insecurity. And Rodimus is a dumbass. He's just talking shit. But to Bishop, that shit talk is a diagnosis. Every time someone calls him crazy, Bishop feels the need to provide a rational response through violence. He thinks, if I kill you, it's not because I'm crazy, it's because I'm the only one here who has the balls to do what needs to be done. He tries so hard to prove he's the sane one, the one with the juice, the one who sees the world for what it really is, and that drives him right off a cliff. And that's the irony. Bishop's quest for sanity and control is what ultimately drives him into a murderous psychopath. He becomes addicted to the thrill of killing, and he becomes so deluded that killing his friends is the only sane way to protect his new identity. Because with a gun now he has purpose. With that .38 Magnum, he becomes God in his mind, and he has the power to take life. And killing people becomes a form of self-validation. He uses murder as a way to convince himself that he's an operator, not a victim, not some schizo sitting in a dark room like his dad. And it's a high-speed collision between his insecurity and ego, and he leaves no survivors. And the original ending of the movie tells the story even better, but it turns out a focus group didn't like it. Since when do we listen to them? In the original ending, Bishop lets go of Q's hand off that ledge. He kills himself, and it's the last sane moment he has left. He looks down at a life that would eventually lead to prison, the same prison that broke his dad. He realizes if he goes back, he becomes a ghost in a chair. He becomes the very thing he spent the whole movie killing people to avoid. By letting go, he finally stops this stupid game. He chooses a definitive end over a slow decay. The focus groups wanted him to be punished by Q because they're pussies who need to believe that the good guy wins. But in the real world, the only win is refusing to be a victim, even if that means splattering across the pavement. And essentially, Bishop's not a thug, he's a man haunted by his father's shadow, trying to murder his own genetic destiny. He wasn't looking for money or mercy. He was looking for a way to feel sane in a world that already labeled him defective. More than a killer, Tupac played a man drowning in his own adrenaline. He deserved that Oscar because he showed us the exact moment when insecurity becomes a massacre. And that's why the word crazy is such a powerful trigger to Bishop, because it's the uncomfortable truth he's been spending his entire life trying to avoid. And when he has to face it, people die. But I love this movie. Tupac absolutely crushed this shit. And he became so wrapped up in the character of Bishop that everywhere he'd go, people would try to test him. And he had to fill Bishop's shoes everywhere he went, even if it meant shooting cops, getting into fights, beating up the Hughes brothers. Tupac lived the gimmick, kind of like Andrew Dice Clay. The character Dice started out as just an act in his whole stand-up routine. But it became so popular, he embodied Dice, and that became his identity. Tupac did the same thing with Bishop. Even though Tupac is from the hood, he grew up around real gangsters and Black Panthers. He was also an artist, a poet. But the great thing about Tupac shows that you can have many layers as a person. You can be from the streets. You can also be an artist. Not everything is so black and white. There's also shades of gray. And you shouldn't let perceived stereotypes define you as a person. I got criminals in my family who are also big nerds. You don't have to be defined by one thing. And that's why I love Tupac, because he gives nuance to every character he plays, because he himself had nuance. Because society today just wants to put you into groups. You're either one thing or the other. And diversity doesn't always mean individuality. That's why I reject any time someone calls Tupac a fake gangster. Tupac never claimed to be a gangster, and you don't gotta be in the gang to rep thug life. He was just a product of his environment, and in turn, it made him the greatest rapper of all time. That's why his music resonates with every single person, because you might not relate to his songs about being a thug, but you could relate to Changes, you could relate to Dear Mama, you could relate to Lord Knows, And that's why I love Tupac, because I can relate to him. And we did come from the same place, which is pretty damn cool. And Tupac was the GOAT because he was the complete package. He understood the game, he understood the art, he understood the cost of both. He left behind a body of work that serves as a blueprint for anyone that wants to find their own agency in a world that wants to keep them in a cage, put them in a box. Tupac was a once-in-a-generation talent, and Roland Bishop was his masterpiece of horror. And this role was so fitting to set off the career of what would be the legendary Tupac Shakur. So rest in peace. His legacy is going to go on for centuries to come. 200 years from now, people are still going to be talking about him. But yeah, tell me some of your favorite scenes, your favorite quotes. Tell me what this movie means to you. Tell me what Tupac means to you. And to the rest of you, I hope you have a good night. Be safe. I am crazy, and I don't give a fuck. And God bless.